Oh, shit. Run up these likes, run up these likes, run up these likes. Yo, listen. DJ Academics is once again promoting bozo propaganda. I really want to call them DJ Cap aesthetics, or we should start calling them Henademics. I think that's very much appropriate. Henademic sounds pretty proper to me. I ain't gonna lie. But he says that the streets owe the rats an apology now because of 21 Savage and all the rest of the Atlanta rappers saying after the streets shit. It's not just Atlanta rappers. We got rappers from all over the place. We got Pooh Shiesty co-signing, a lot of people co-signing the F the Streets movement, but there are some weirdos trying to say, hey man, you can't play both sides. What about the rats? What about them, champ? You need to apologize to the rats, according to Ak and others. Well, we're gonna jump into this content again because Academics is trying to save the rats. All right, let's get into it. Let's do it. All champ.
Because there's many examples of people saying this way before y'all, and y'all were basically saying, nah, he only saying that because he a rat. Troy Ave said this. Every time I heard people speak on the Troy Ave thing, they claimed he was a rat. This is exactly what Meek Mill
He
said.
is.
Here's my point. I got no problem with Meek.
Troy Ave is a rat. He told Champ, testified in court, he and his friend who got boomed by Tag Stone tried to attack Tag Stone just because Tag Stone thought Troy Ave was not a big rapper in New York. He criticized how Troy Ave was trying to position himself as a top New York rapper, and he felt some type of way. He went to T.I.'s show at the Gramercy Theater in Manhattan and tried to violate Tag Stone, but Tag Stone actually had other plans in mind, and he ended up blicking the friend of Troy Ave who was trying to attack Tag Stone, and as a result, Troy Ave also gets popped in the process. Troy Ave ends up clapping Mano's girlfriend in the face with the blick as well, and you know the rest of the story. But Troy Ave testified in court against Tag Stone, which would make him a rap champ when he was definitely trying to commit a crime against Tag Stone, correct? We just got to be real about the situation. So yes, Troy Ave said F the streets, but Troy Ave is also a rat, so we didn't really, take that serious. Like you're saying that because you told, champ. Then it's right. They're right. He did say it because he told. Now, for whatever reason, everybody else is saying F the streets. This might be more business related. I'm just saying, but let's continue.
Meek is saying, like, I agree with all this stuff. But I want those rappers to admit, Troy Ave was right. You street rappers are on, not necessarily it's like a got you moment, but you guys are on the wrong side of history. You guys blackballed people, talked down on people, jumped in people's business y'all had nothing to do with. Only for years later, when the mirror was held up in front of y'all and y'all had to call maybe one of y'all best friends or somebody who was really powerful in the street scene, which is, I guess, Young Thug, when you had to keep the same energy with him, now y'all realize the same things that y'all talked badly about for years. So what does that mean? Like, yeah, I do owe these niggas an apology.
They don't owe nobody nothing. And if they do apologize, that makes them look like suckers. Because rats don't deserve an apology. You're a rat. You told. You tried to ruin someone else's life. You didn't take accountability for the actions that you did. You're a rat. You're not cool. You snitched. You told. You was pretending to be street, and then you folded. You're not supposed to be celebrated for any reason. If anybody feels the need to actually support the rat, and it's different now with 21 Savage's situation, they talked about Gunna and how Gunna had told before to get one of his cousins out of prison, out of jail. And there's a video that surfaced, and it showed Gunna a long time ago, before he was even in the rap scene, saying that, hey, yeah, I told on the right person because my cousin was wrongfully incarcerated. So I told on the person that actually did it to get my cousin out of jail because he's innocent. Now, is that ratting? To be technical, it is. It is telling. However, I guess you could say it was done in good faith. I mean, I'm not co-signing it. I don't know. I'm not I'm not gonna. But Gunna does the same thing again, but this time he tells on Young Thug and the entire YSL gang that he's a part of, saying, yeah, YSL is a gang, which would then lead to Young Thug getting hit with some time. And it could have actually got Thug, might have made Thug never come home ever again based on what Gunna just did, right? That luckily for Thug, he's out. He's on a nasty probation. Maybe somebody might pardon that. I don't know. You dig? We got Shorty Nick in the chat who says facts. Just because niggas is saying get out the streets don't mean being a rat is cool now. Exactly. And you guys are trying to switch the narrative as if people are trying to say being a rat is cool. But technically speaking, according to 21 Savage, it low-key looks like he is trying to say Gunna needs to get a rat pass, but giving someone a rat pass is absolutely absurd. Rat passes is crazy. We don't give those things out. That's not a thing. But let's continue.
Y'all ridiculed, but you know what I noticed? And this is my page, so like I'm on it. Everything I posted, Kodak Black liked every single post, every single one of them. Every single nigga who called out the people saying fuck the streets, I seen, because I follow Kodak, he followed me. It would light up. Kodak likes his post. Every one of them. You know why? Kodak is realizing how fake the game is. Everybody looked.
Kodak Black is a dope fiend. Kodak Black is not even in his right mind. How can Kodak realize these things and Kodak is not sober? Make it make sense. Uncle does says Savage wants to save Gunna, so he gets a pass when he inevitably does a song with him. Yes, champ, you're right. Plus 21 Savage's records are not doing the best numbers right now. I mean, what do he sell? 50K first week? Nasty work. We didn't even do 100K, champ. It's nasty. That's nasty numbers, champ. Better than average, I guess, but still nasty numbers as far as album sales are concerned. And if we're being honest, that album was very nasty. I mean, we listened to that album in my Discord, and it was absolute trash. It was so bad that we couldn't even get through the entire thing. Then it became emo. Then it got into some J. Cole, Little Dirt, All My Life type vibes, and we definitely despised that song. I can't stand that song. I don't want to hear that. And Savage was going for those vibes towards the end of that album. Album didn't do well. Album didn't chart well. So now we're talking about F the Streets. Gunna, I need you, champ. Champ. This is a very nasty look, man. Look, people like Offset, Kodak Black doing songs with Gunna, no problem. That's their business, man. And guess what? Offset is a gang member himself. Offset used to be a real savage before he was really in the rap game, like really, really did. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man. Let's keep it going.
Down and talk down on when he did a song with 6ix9ine for $1 million. They said that's not street. The street wasn't dead then. The streets was well alive. And it was frowned upon that even for $1 million, you could do a song with a rat. The streets wasn't dead then. They all looked at him. He got into it with Boosie over it. A lot of people were like, yo, this is crazy. Yo, this is wild. Only for a couple years later, people are saying, well, fuck the streets now. Okay, gonna come back you could come back cool, and we're just gonna ignore whatever with Thug. And he's sitting around looking like, don't nobody see that this is hypocritical? Isn't Kodak owed an apology too? For anybody who criticized him now.
So we apologizing to dope fiends? I don't know about that. And let's not forget Kodak Black's album that dropped not too long ago. It was nasty, bro. If y'all was in the Maze Discord, we listened to that album too, and that was nasty. He said something about trying to take Frank. He said something about having another inmate vacuum Frank, and that was disgusting. Kodak Black is a fiend. He ain't even in his right mind. I don't care nothing about what Kodak got going on, to be honest. Has he made some amazing music and all that? Yeah, but it hasn't been recent. And he has since lost his goddamn mind, champ. Joe J says, Act wish he could say F the streets. He made his name on Chicago beef and scared to hold his own heater. Schoolboy. This is true. Without the war in Chirac, Akademiks is non-existent. If we're being real. He also says, what block Act ever stand on and hold it down for the hood? I'll wait. He can't go to the hood. He's never been to the hood, and he not about to go nowhere. Like I said before, he can't go in the corner store without looking over his shoulder repeatedly. All right, after every word, he's gonna look over his shoulder while ordering a chopped cheese, champ, because he is scared. He's never been on any blocks. He ain't been nowhere. He ain't been to no trap. He ain't been nowhere. He ain't been on nobody block. He ain't been nowhere, champ. But let's continue.
Boosie did criticize him. Boosie isn't backing down. Boosie's not backing down, people. Boosie ain't backing down. Listen what Boosie said. And I gotta be honest with you. Boosie low-key becomes the voice of reason in many situations, but he typed this up. He said, yo, if rappers go say fuck the streets, y'all need to stop rapping about them. Stop double dipping. Rap about fruits, college courses, and staying out the streets. If you from the streets shaped you to be the man you are today. Your mindset, your hustle, your intuition, etc. It comes from the street. By the way, keep in mind, Boosie's about to be sentenced for fucking with the streets, essentially. If you don't know the story, Boosie goes, he's in LA. Some hood rapper hits him up like, yo, Boosie, I got like 20 bands if you come pull up in this video and just do this song for me or whatever. I forgot how much money it was, but maybe like 20, 30, whatever. Boosie pulls up with a gun in his waistband. One dude's on live that was being tracked by the police. They see that Boosie has a gun in his waistband. They run down on Boosie, lock him up for felony in possession of a firearm. The case got dropped before, it got picked up again, and he subsequently was found. Well, actually, I think he took a plea or something of the sort. But yeah, he's gonna be sentenced in January for literally fucking with the streets. But even he is saying what he's saying, and he's like, yo, the street shaped you to be the man you are today. Your mindset, hustle, intuition comes from the street. Your support comes from the street. Now I gotta pause right there. Boosie is one of the only rappers I know. You know, people look at Boosie got some money, man. But Boosie's not broke. He's a hustler. This is how he even got caught up.
Oh, champ, hold on. Shorty Nick says Boosie was crying on Instagram about his gun case in Cali. I'm done with Boosie, man. And he tried to put the gun on somebody else. Oh, champ. That's ratting, but nobody got nothing to say about that. So Boosie tried to put the blick on someone else. Oh, champ. Boosie? And you talking this nonsense, champ. That's nasty work. That's nasty work. It wasn't all nasty work. Nasty work. Yo, listen, let's be honest, man. Rappers ain't doing no raps about fruits, college courses unless your name is J. Goddamn Cole, nigga. J. Cole. Listen, let the nerd rappers do nerd things. Now, just because they say after streets, this doesn't mean the rapping must change, shit. Niggas are still gonna rap about slotting, using blicks, because that's what sells. The moment that you stop talking about that is a moment that your streams go down. The moment that your ticket sales get low. Because there ain't nobody here to hear that, chant. This is the turn up music, right? This is like trap, rap, sliding down, ops, things of that nature. This is the common rap theme, champ. You can't just switch up just because. You feel me? If it's not that, then you gotta flex. You gotta talk about your diamonds. All right? What type of Rolls Royce you got, champ? What type of thotties you're smashing on and things of that nature. Future does it. Playboy Cardi does it. Gunna, to some degree, is still doing it even though he's a goddamn rat. Stuart Gunner Kitchens. Listen, man, he told, champ, but he's having a successful career even though he told. Why? Because his music is still good. Listen, I hate to say it, but the rat makes some good music, man. He's a talented rat. He's a rat with musical prowess, all right? A great musical prowess. And guess what? Nobody gives a damn that he told, all right? Now, does this mean that we have to hug rats and give rats handshakes? I think not. I don't think that should be the premise around After Streets if you're going to say After Streets. Because if you're going to say After Streets and rats are cool, well, I'm not gonna lie, that's actually a dangerous situation you're putting yourself in, because rats are dangerous, champ. Just because you cool with them don't mean that they won't snake you again, champ. Once a snake, always a snake. All right, rats and snakes are very much identical, much more related than you think. So I don't think that's the best idea. I'm just gonna be honest. But let's continue.
But Boosie is one of the people who never been that successful where like he's like this huge mainstream artist. Boosie tours hood clubs. He goes to the hood. Like I've heard Boosie speak about, you know, why he continues to speak about, you know, certain type of situations where they're snitching this and third. And he said, yo, when he goes out, his primary audience are street people who are from the hood, and they look at him as their voice. So that's why he says he continues to speak out, right? So he's saying, yo, that's what made him successful. He's like, yo, yeah, I want every kid to make it out the streets. That's all we want, but I'm never saying fuck the streets. They're responsible for our success. Don't forget, every successful independent record label started from where? The streets. All your music came from the streets. Your baby mama, you met her in the streets. So if it's fuck the streets, don't rap about them. Simple. It's that. Show the world and the fans how good of an artist you are, because y'all take the streets all the way out, and take streets out all the way out of your rap.
So Boosie tried to rat himself, who got the audacity to be seen at the streets. Shorty Nick says, he said, that's my security's gun to the police. But his security never took the charge or tried to take the charge. That's right. So you attempted to get your security guard indicted. Is nasty work. So paid security. You tried to put the gun on them, champ. That's ratting if I've ever heard. Now we want to talk about people telling. Boosie, you attempted to tell, therefore your street credibility is shot, champ. It's over. What are you talking about? You should be saying F the streets at this point. I ain't gonna lie, Boosie. If you're gonna be doing things like that, that's nasty. All right, they are always about the streets. There are ways to rap about the streets without glorifying it. Yeah, that's been done before, and that's been done before too.
Vocabulary, I want to hear it. Now, obviously, he's looking at this very differently. He's thinking like "fuck the streets" means fuck the people who are in the streets. But it's kind of hard to decipher what's actually meant. And even then, I still think Boosie's like, nah, I don't think he would say fuck the streets under any condition. So, I don't know. A couple of the people chimed in. They were very interested, or, you know, they felt a certain way, especially Blueface. Blueface just came out of jail, and I feel like he just must have think he just got jumped in the gang again, because he's been more tough now than I've ever seen him before.
Blueface ain't never been tough for any reason. Did he clap somebody? Yeah, he did. Was it an op that he clapped at? No, it wasn't. Has he ever clapped at any of his actual ops? No, he hasn't. Did he go to jail? Sure, anyone can go to jail. And truth be told, anyone can literally use a weapon, right? Cool. That doesn't mean that he's tough. It doesn't mean that he's gangster. Did he run up on somebody? Did he run down on anybody? No, he hasn't. Is he repping Schoolyard Crips? Sure. Is he doing any spinning for the Schoolyard Crips? No, he's not. And he has not. So all this, again, majority of the people saying that the F the streets thing is nonsense, a lot of them has done questionable things or hasn't done anything at all. You feel me? Or hasn't done nothing at all. You dig? Like, we just gotta be real. Like, we're not about to pretend and act as though that Blueface has been out here doing things, because that's not true. It's just false information. And nobody in LA is gonna vouch for that, ever. They're not gonna vouch for that and say that Blueface was out here wilding, because this is not true. He not known for doing that. He said he shot at a truck that was speeding away. Whoop-de-doo, champ. Whoop-de-doo. Nasty work, okay? Yo, listen, you ain't, just because you clap something Just because you clap something doesn't make you a so-called like real deal stepper. Unfortunately, you gotta actually do things to be a stepper. You gotta actually stand on business. Who have you? You know, unfortunately, yeah. The question is, what have you done? You know what I'm saying? But let's keep it going.
He says, next time, say fuck yo street. I'm not shaking none of y'all niggas' hands backstage no more. I never thought I'd see the day saying fuck the streets for a 21 Savage feature. Nigga, fuck the industry. Okay? Fabio Fortin jumped in and he said, yo, not gonna lie, this is the one time 6ix9ine goofy ass was right. The streets kept me moving and keep me and mine's good. And guess what? I better not see not one nigga from the street support nobody that say fuck the streets. I don't care who you are, nobody gets a pass in my eyes. The streets is the reason why a lot of niggas is in these big positions. I ain't never gonna turn my back on my biggest support system. How about niggas help change the streets or save the streets? Then he says, nah, I ain't.
Asking somebody to save the streets is like asking somebody to lift up a building with 2 hands. You know that, right? Imagine asking someone to save the street. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. How you gonna save something that doesn't want to be saved? If anyone is out there in the streets, they ain't looking to be saved. If they're looking to make fast money, or they get a high off of running down on people, or they out there high on multiple supplies because they're a fiend, or they the police, or they are federal informant and you don't know about it yet. You dig? That's what that means. What are we talking about? Uncle Dill says you can uplift individuals, but not the streets are not to be saved. How dare you say save the streets? Doesn't even make sense. Who says these things, right? Who in the world says save the streets? That's just a thing that's not gonna ever be saved because it's just always been, right? Like that's something that's always existed. There was never a time where that didn't exist. So imagine thinking you're gonna save the place where criminality is just roaming freely and always will, right? Imagine that. Could you imagine that, champ? It's crazy. Let's keep it going, man.
Don't let y'all niggas just say fuck the streets.
Unfortunately, that the person who said it, his name is Fabio Foreign, who is a Crip from Brownsville, Brooklyn. A neighborhood Crip to be exact. From Brownsville saying to save the streets. How about you do it? Since you got the voice in the streets, man, why you ain't save the streets then, champ? Since you want somebody else to do it, how about y'all save it? How about you do it? Huh, champ? You do it, champ. It's bad enough you lie about your age. Nigga like 36 or 37 or something talking about he in his early 30s. This nigga lied about his age in hip hop. Niggas was supposed to believe that he was like Pop Smoke age because he was rolling with Pop Smoke because they both from Brownsville, both was Crack and Crip, right? So now all of a sudden, this guy had the nerve to pretend that he like close to Pop Smoke age. Pop Smoke passes away at like 20 years old. Bro was in his mid 30s. When Pop Smoke passed, he was more so in his early 30s, but you get the picture. You feel what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. Seriously?
Yeah. Honeycomb Brady made one of the same points I just said. He said, and a nigga, no, y'all got all the money in the world and power, but I'm from Alabama. We just don't give a fuck. I bet you don't hear no more Alabama rappers say fuck the streets. I bet my last dollar. I remember everybody was on Kodak and bro made $1 million. Shit, I respect what he doing compared to what you niggas doing. And fuck the sidewalks. Damn. This is kind of interesting because I feel
man, listen, I seen the video when he said this. Like, bro, you can't even form a complete sentence. Don't nobody give a damn what you talking about. Listen, I'm tired of these institutionalized bozos talking, man. If you listen, first and foremost, bro, it's gonna be like the finesse 2 times, the not so bright people, the finesse 2 times of the world, right? Who got something to say about this and all this nonsense. All right. All of you guys are bozos. Let's just be honest. All of y'all are complete bozos, man. Y'all always look dumb online for a reason. You people are laughed at on a consistent basis because you're just a bozo. You know, nobody takes you serious. And we living in a climate right now where people don't give a damn how street you are. It doesn't matter. Because guess what? The truth is the majority of the world ain't street, so it don't matter. Majority of internet users are not street, are not from the streets, don't understand street business. You dig what I'm saying? That's just what that means. You guys pushing the street narrative, hard body is cool, but nobody cares. Nobody who's pushing the streets incredibly hard is successful right now. Now, NBA YoungBoy might be the exception because YoungBoy is just a crash out, right? Or has done things or has had things done to individuals allegedly. So he has the YNs in a chokehold right now, right? He has a huge fan base. He had a successful tour, things like that. He's a pretty big name right now, right? But he's ignoring all this. He don't care about none of this. Whatever YoungBoy wants to do, he's gonna do. He just has the fan base. He had the longevity. He's grown a cult over time. So whatever he does is good. You dig? Shorty Nick says Brazy institutionalized for real. He lost both his grandparents because he was a crash dummy and is still spewing ignorance. Yeah. You know, it be the people that lost family members due to them being in the streets that continue to push this nonsense. Now, if you was someone who lost close people to you because of the streets, you would think, hey, I'm not going to promote the streets no more. Even though I'm older and I recognize that this is clearly detrimental and I have the means to actually leave, but I don't want to leave because, you know, this is just all I know. Well, you're part of the problem, shit. I ain't gonna lie. Just like YSL was a part of the problem because YSL didn't have to still be in Atlanta in the streets. You niggas is in the slums trying to bully the scene for what? Nigga, you're rich as hell. Thug is rich. Gun is rich. All these people got money. The whole YSL Rico was a part of these niggas flexing the fact that they was getting away with just dragging the ops who are having little to nothing, champ. Let's be honest. Thug and them had the means to do whatever. They didn't have to even stay in Atlanta. Y'all niggas should have moved to Calabasas, nigga. What the hell y'all still doing in the A? Y'all niggas got enough means to leave Atlanta right where it's at and still make the same music and not criminalized for doing things. But no, you still want to slide on the cops. You still want to gangbang, whether it's on the record or off the record. And then that cost you dearly, chick. You ended up in a goddamn Rico, nigga. Niggas is trying to still be street. For what? Y'all niggas is rich and y'all still trying to be street. Sounds like self-sabotage to me. I ain't gonna lie. You dig? Nipsey Hussle tried to gangbang while being a good Samaritan and changing the hood. And truth is, you can't do both. You can't gangbang and then be a success in this in music like that. You can't do both. Both things cannot happen. And you still trying to slide on the ops and you're rich? Nigga, leave that behind. What are we doing? What type of backwoods nonsense is that? See, you can't do both. Nipsey Hussle's a prime example of not doing both. You gangbanging plus you trying to change things? You can't do both, bro. You gotta leave this behind. You dig? This is why a lot of these Ricos ended up happening in the first place, man. Niggas trying to be rap successes, getting this money, but still trying to start on the ops in the hood. It's kind of crazy.
Like, he's almost saying Kodak made $1 million to do a song with 6ix9ine, who's a cooperator, I guess. They're saying, y'all want to say F the streets just so y'all could keep y'all affiliation of Thug. Hilarious. Yak Gotti jumped in. This is what he said. By the way, why do you look like you working at Amazon? For a second, I was like, is this Amazon Prime? I'm like, damn.
Here goes another rat. Yak Gotti, another rat. Let's keep it going.
Everybody stay woke. Everybody stay woke. Everybody stay woke. This is totally normal. It's just what happens when you grow up. You you understand a lot of this shit wasn't worth it. But you also got to understand you had to go through a lot of this shit to get where you at. You get what I'm saying? I'm a person who's been through a lot of shit. So I am gonna say, like, you can't just say fuck the street. You got to say fuck the street mentality, fuck the street mindset. And then when you say fuck the street mindset, it's more so like shit. It bigger than a tweet and a poster. Niggas having so much influence. Y'all niggas need to go holler at these kids. Go holler at these motherfucking YMCAs and recreation centers and shit. Like, you got to go start with them. The industry don't give a fuck.
Now I agree with the end part of that. And obviously, any change does start with words at first. Hey, we're going to go do this before we see the change. I will say, though, that some people are doing some stuff. Like Meek is doing prison reform. And I think you got to give people a chance to start implementing change. The last thing he said,
why you ain't implementing change, nigga? Better question. Why all these nerd niggas got something to say? What positivity have you said, nigga? Y'all niggas just want to see niggas get indicted. You surround yourself with degenerates like Whack 100. Who else? DJ Vlad. These niggas don't want change. Y'all niggas not making no money with a change. Let's be honest. Without change, with change of anything, let's just say this. Let's just say hip hop has a shift where rappers just stop doing crime, man. Let's just say rappers just stop. We shifted. We not doing no more crime. We just gonna talk about getting money. We just gonna talk about getting expensive cars and chains and all that. Expensive watches. We're gonna talk that luxury talk. We're gonna take a Jay-Z approach here. We're just gonna flex. We're not gonna incriminate ourselves, but we're definitely gonna flex. Now, what do you have to speak on, huh, Chant? Because a lot of y'all made y'all content based on street stuff. Whack 100 talks about plenty of people who are in the streets who are successes, are iconic in what they've done. That's all he does. He tries to incriminate street guys, right? Or guys who have formerly been incarcerated for being in the streets. So what do you guys have? Because without that, y'all don't exist. So at the same time, you could say, oh, yeah, the streets is done and all that. Without the streets, you niggas don't have content. In fact, the streets actually created hip-hop. That's where hip-hop comes from. The streets, the hood, the ghetto, the struggle, the trenches. This is where hip-hop was created, Chant. It was created out of the slums, Chant. But these same niggas who are trying to say, oh, well, what about the rats? You niggas was the same ones that only created content based on street stuff that don't got nothing to do with you, though. Without the streets, y'all don't exist neither. By the way, you don't have an Akademiks or Whack 100 or what have you, because all of y'all content been based off street niggas. So without these street niggas, how do y'all exist? Without street politics and all that, how do y'all exist? You nerd niggas, there's no Trap Laws. Trap Laws only content is about street stuff, about trying to incriminate street people. How do y'all exist? Y'all don't exist. You dig? Y'all don't exist. It's crazy, man. But let's run up these likes, man. How many likes we got, as a matter of fact? Yo, gang, you gotta get these likes up. You heard? Smash the like, share the video. But let's keep it going. All chin.
I agree with the most is that the industry doesn't give a fuck. The reason why you usually see people at the end of their run start saying fuck the street and saying stuff like this is that they know that the game is going to replace them. Like the music industry complex is just always going to help glorify some of the, you could call it rawest or most authentic representations of the hood, or you might be like some of the most violent representation, however you want to look at it. But if these rappers are claiming, all right, you know what, we're too good, or we want to create change, there's always going to be street music from people who are kind of like ignorant, or they're at least putting out a message that people feel is congruent with the music that they listen to. So if, once a nigga is saying, you'll stop the violence, if he makes a song saying, I'm going to kill somebody, you're like, all right, this guy's a goofy, right? So the point that he made at the last point was, y'all niggas will be replaced. That's it. In music, y'all will be replaced. But if y'all trying to do some good shit, y'all all rich. Y'all could definitely band together and do some community outreach, whether it's for kids, and start changing the message and be the example of what people should be if you really care about this F the street.
How a nigga that was talking crazy to a 15-year-old boy on Discord saying this? You can't do no community outreach because niggas think you're Geppetto. Did you know that? You can't do no community outreach. You can't speak to kids because we see what happened the last time you did that. Now don't be champ. You can't do that. You a weirdo. Oh champ. At least niggas do goddamn community outreach. You can't reach for nothing unless you want to go to prison. Unless you want to make the goddamn registry list, champ. That's what you can do. All right. This bozo talking about community outreach and you can't speak on kids. Kids coming out your mouth is between Drake's discharge and you speaking on Discord. So kids shouldn't be coming out your mouth. By the way, champ. Just saying. Oh, champ. I'm trying to fix this goddamn light. Nigga talking about kids and communities. You don't belong there. You're not welcome, by the way. You can't just do community outreach. And the kids are dangerous. Let's be very clear here, champ. The kids are dangerous. The kids are dangerous as hell now, champ. They out here booming things. Community outreach, these kids have lost their goddamn mind. I don't know how many kids with a shiesty and that's off some goddamn dough might be trying to wild out. You heard? So you can talk all that nonsense, but these kids ain't as friendly as you think. These kids is out here carrying blicks too and all nonsense. Just saying. Oh, champ.
We sing that much.
Everybody stay woke. Everybody stay woke. Everybody stay woke. This is totally normal. It's just what happens when you grow up. You you understand a lot of this shit wasn't worth it. But you also got to understand you had to go through a lot of this shit to get where you at. You get what I'm saying? I'm a person who's been through a lot of shit. So I am going to say, like, you can't just say fuck the street. You got to say fuck the street mentality.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Streaming now.
Offset jumps in.
On all social medias, F the streets. Now, my biggest thing with that is that when I first came to Atlanta, I knew Atlanta was just about being players and getting money and just the love, and we kind of got out of hand, and now we're going in the right direction. How do you feel about that, even that slogan, F the streets, and what does that mean to you?
I feel like it's a beautiful message to put out, you know what I mean? I feel like the unity of the city is needed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The people need to see that like, sometimes things might not go as good at first, but we can always patch it up. And that's what I just see for it. Like,
right.
Patching it up and like, especially for us as rap artists, from Atlanta, you know what I mean? Black men saying that, it's very powerful because the message could be pushed out wrong for what we do. And we ain't standing for that no more. I appreciate everybody that's involved with that. That's powerful. You know what I mean?
For sure.
For our city.
Yo, dirty.
Okay. Let me see what else.
Offset never really cared about all that. I mean, yeah, Offset is a gangster disciple and all that, but he just does music business, man. You don't really see Offset really like glorifying no gang stuff. Now, he was a young boy show with some younger gangster disciples and all that, but Offset don't really be doing too much nonsense outside of, clapping cheeks. That's cool, champ. Keep clapping cheeks. Whatever makes you happy, champ. As a grown man, you should do those things. He's just involved in Stephon Diggs and Cardi B drama. That's about it. That's it. Oh, champ. But saving the streets doesn't exist. Sorry, champ.
You look like Schmirk's, wife, kind of like inadvertently or subliminally responded. Maybe it was just something else, but she said performative. We went over Boosie, Honeycomb Brazy, we went over Reddy, and yeah, I think that's about it, right? That's about it. Yeah. Oh, this guy, Cartelbo. Listen to this guy.
Fuck the street shit, cool, but that's the first thing they say, man, when them niggas finna go to jail. When them niggas get ready to tell on somebody, the first thing they say, man, I gotta get to my kids, man. Fuck the streets. Man, I got to fuck the streets. But when your motherfucking ass was getting money out the streets, when you was in the car with them niggas, it wasn't fuck the streets. You know what I'm saying? When you was trying to do what you had to do to get by to put your money in your rap or your this, that, and other, you wasn't saying fuck the streets. You know what I'm saying? You was saying blah, blah, slide, this, that, you listening to everybody named mama, young boy, Pooh Shiesty, all these, you ready to kill everything. But when your bitch ass catch a case, cause this shit get real, all of a sudden it's, man, fuck the street. See, that's that peon shit. You niggas done made $1 million out the streets. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying? $2-3 million out the streets selling dope or selling music or selling Then all of a sudden when you get in trouble or it's beneficial to you, it's fuck the streets. Nah,
Them niggas ain't in trouble, nigga. Who said they was in trouble? They not in trouble. They trying to save their career. This is more of a business move. Now, this might be very performative, like Shorty said. It could be very performative. They might not in their heart of hearts feel this way, but they realize, business is not going well. Look at 21 Savage last album. Look at Young Thug last album, right? Numbers wasn't numbering. Hits wasn't hitting. Billboard, it hasn't been in their favor. So what do they do now? Well, we gotta collaborate with Gunna. We gotta get cool with Gunna because Gunna's been successful as a rap. His cheddar has been cheddaring, all right? His Velveeta skills has been prosperous for him, right? So now musically, they're like, how do we remain relevant? How do we continue to get this music thing going? Because at the end of the day, these niggas gotta eat, so they're taking drastic measures. They're saying, man, F the streets. Gunna, I need you on this project. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. Now, this doesn't mean it's gonna work out because Gunna might not feel that he is having genuine support here. You dig? He might have progressed with his rap heroics, and that's just what it is, man. All right? Leg you says if those lyrics don't match the slogan, I don't want to hear none of it. Oh, trust me, the lyrics will never match the slogan. Because guess what? Here's what people need to realize. If them lyrics ain't nowhere near what they was, that's not good. You rap about cantaloupes and goddamn searching for berries in the goddamn forest, champ, those records will plummet. Nobody want to hear that. Yo, let me tell you something. We in an era where selling buns is prominent. Tricking is prominent. All these degenerate activities is prominent. And when we're in a society or a climate where degeneracy is just king right now, guess what? You're not about to rap about nothing positive if it don't have you catching the 3-letter word. All right? If that positivity doesn't possibly lead to you catching a 3-letter word, champ, well, truth be told, it ain't gonna sell. All right, we're in a degenerate climate, which means degeneracy must be the sound. If not, champ, those records shall plummet, champ. Do you know what's going on in this climate that we're in, champ? Well, if you don't know, let me tell you, degeneracy. So degeneracy will always sell, all right? So it could still be degeneracy. You think it's about to be positive lyrics? You're wrong. You're wrong as hell, nigga. It gotta have swag. It gotta be degenerate. You heard? Or it's not gonna sell. Yeah. Negativity will always sell. That's just what it is, champ. It's not about to switch. Saying F the streets don't mean that street bars will not be brought up. You're wrong. And if you think that it is, so you're smoking angel dust. By the way, but let's continue.
support that, man, because I know I can get money out this bitch if all go wrong. They fuck the streets.
Jazzy Faye jumped in the comments and said, you got to get to a certain level to even understand the concept of what the movement's about. It's breaking cycles. It was just poorly worded and needs more explanation for people in the back. Well, Jazzy Faye, I got to say, that's the biggest problem with the message. The message isn't aimed for people of high intellect that aren't in the streets. It's usually the people of low intellect that are street niggas. So if they can't understand it, that means the message is ineffective already, right? If you're crafting a message for street niggas and for people that might not be that bright, if they can't understand it,
So you think that everybody that street is just low intelligence? You're an idiot. 50 Cent is a street nigga who is incredibly one of the most successful rappers ever, period. After like Jay-Z and all that. Very successful. Has done a lot of different business. Is continuing to do a lot of different business. Right? You think everybody from the streets is low intellect because you ain't been in the streets. Easy to say for a nigga who hasn't been there to say who's low intellects and who's not. You will never be on anybody's block ever. So you wouldn't know who's low and high intelligence. There's high intelligence people in the hood. You just never been there, so it's hard for you to grasp. You only have your idea of what it might be. All right, you ain't been in these streets. You ain't been to no hoods. When you see hood niggas, you get scared. That's because you ain't been there. You don't know what it's like. You never been nowhere. You're not gonna go there because you're scared. You can't be in a corner store for more than 1 minute, or it's gonna get nasty. Right? You're a scary guy. Me, I've been in a lot of different hoods in different places in different states, different regions. Been around, player. I've been around, champion. Been in places that you can't be. You feel me? And you're scared. All right? You're scared. So you can't say what niggas is like in the hood and you ain't been there. How would you know? You know nothing, champ. There's low intelligent people that got money too. Like, your environment doesn't really explain if people are low or high intelligence. You can have there's a bunch of low intelligent bimbos that's rich. There's some low intelligent degenerates that got money. Just because you got money doesn't mean that you're smart. Just because you got money don't mean you're gonna always have money neither. Y'all try to place the environment on how someone actually is, but everybody's not the same. Okay? Don't judge a book based on the cover because you don't know what's behind the cover. I'm gonna just say that, but let's continue.
Who gives a fuck if someone who's not in the streets understands it, right? So that happened. I think that's about it, right? I think we had played
All you
this.
police ass niggas don't be talking about fuck the streets now, cause everybody snitching. Bitch, I went and did 10 years behind this shit. Bitch, I love the streets. Ain't no
I bet you do, Chip, and you'll be right back tomorrow. Let's
motherfucker
continue.
fuck the streets, just fuck the snitches. Fuck road child. All you police ass niggas don't.
Yeah, you'll be right back. You did 10 years, you'll be right back tomorrow. Don't worry about it, Chip. You'll be right back.
Okay, there you go.
You'll be back.
Yeah. I think we've kind of covered everything. But did we read? Okay. So G Herb also said this, right? He said the objective is to make it home every night. The goal is to take care of your family, not become a sad story. Avoid life in jail or even the worst, death. I never glorified my life circumstances, but more so I shed light on the problems I had to face, and a lot of us still face on a day-to-day basis. Took a lot to get here, so with no need to say more, let me make it clear. Big Swerve, Lil Herb, Big G Herbo, still and always will love the streets because we all we got. You see, G.
First of all, G Herbo was condoning the F streets. He is condoning it. But G Herbo played it smart because G Herbo got out the hood. People from his hood kept on, trying to, use him for whatever he is useful of because obviously he has, resources. But G Herbo got out of that too. G Herbo left the hood behind, as he should. He doesn't need to go back. He's not obligated to go back. You don't owe nobody a goddamn thing. You don't owe the hood anything. You don't owe nobody nothing. You work for what you got, right? Cool. So work for better for yourself, and that's what he did. He want better. He don't want to be in the hood. He don't want to have to owe the hood anything because he doesn't owe the hood anything. All right? He just doesn't. And he can't save the hood neither. The hood is always going to be that. All right? That's just what it's going to be. And if you continue to be out there and you already have reached success, you're just going to lead yourself into a goddamn Rico because the whole hood going to go down. And you're going to be the nigga that's the head of the Rico because you have all the resources. You are the top of the top. You're the only one. who could provide things, right? So salute to G Herbo for getting out the hood, because you didn't need to be there in the first place. You're rich. Get away. Go away.
G Herbo, I'm gonna be honest with you. This was crazy. G Herbo just did a 180 flip in real time. Why? His audience, this is the biggest year for G Herbo. I feel like he's more on a mainstream level. He's always been dope, and he's always like sold some records. But like, he's one of them artists that he's kind of like Boosie in a sense, like modern day Boosie, in the sense of the people who fuck with G Herbo the most been street niggas. So him even saying that is like a slap in the face, especially when they don't understand like this other meaning of, oh, this is the trauma. We're not actually saying fuck people in the streets. So he just kind of flipped what he said around. He's just saying he loves the streets. No, I thought he said fuck the streets. Can't say love it and fuck him. But you could tell his own fans probably was like, yo, bro, I'm disappointed with you. So he's coming to clear it up, and he's like giving some context to it. Yes, G Herbo's made songs and albums, PTSD. He's talked about his life and the ramifications that has came from the streets. Now, I'm going to keep telling y'all, I do think it is a good thing to tell rappers to try to have a more positive message, especially when they've made it, and kind of encourage people not to crash out.
Positive messages don't sell. I repeat, positive messages don't sell unless you've already garnered a certain type of following, right? So everybody don't got the same audience. You can have a positive message, right? But when you are already classified in the street category of rap, you can't have a positive. There is no positive message there, champ. You're gonna have to keep rapping about sliding on the ops, or you're gonna have to keep rapping about sliding, champ. It's just what you must do, champ, or else you're not gonna sell, right? Yeah, you gotta slide up on those goddamn ops, champ. You gotta spin the block most of the time. You gotta keep spinning, champ, like a goddamn dreidel, champ. You gotta keep spinning, all right? This is what you must do, because you've already been classified as a street rapper. You just can't change overnight. That just cannot happen, Tim. So these degenerate street raps must proceed. Okay? Now it's different when your name is J. Cole. We don't know J. Cole for any street stuff, so J. Cole can rap about putting blankets in the dryer and all that nonsense. Someone like a G Herbo cannot do that. Someone like Young Thug could never do such things. Insane. Couldn't happen. But let's continue. Oh, chin.
I do think that's dope. However, if you're gonna say it on Twitter in a movement, your music should start to see and reflect the change. But then beyond that, I keep going back to the one question. The timing is a little bit eerie. Okay, cool. F the streets or you love the streets, whatever you say. What do you think about what Thug did? The chat, that's what. Anytime y'all see anybody tweet this, all you gotta just respond to them under the message. All right, that's cool. Yeah, we don't want nobody to die, but what do you think about what Thug did compared to what Gunna did? And that's the only conversation. We don't want to move the goalposts.
Whoa. Thug didn't do nothing. Let's cut it out. You niggas, you Whack 100, Seti Nash, paid for a YouTuber to delete the video where Thug was talking to the goddamn police and etc. All right, that's what you did. Thug didn't do nothing. All he did was tell the police things to try to get your boy Pee Wee out of jail. YSL Pee Wee to be exact. We're not allowed to pretend and act like Thug was telling, because he wasn't. He wasn't even under interrogation. And the chick he was talking to was the one he said, listen, take my number. He's talking to a girl in the interrogation footage. And how the hell do I know that, nigga? Because I know niggas in Atlanta. One of my peoples knows YSL Pee Wee personally. You did? We just gotta be honest about the situation. You feel me? We just gotta be real. We're not about to act like Gunna and Thug did the same thing. That's lies. That's cap. Who the hell did Thug tell on? Thug ain't tell on nobody. Who did Thug tell on? Nobody. He was trying to get his mans out of jail, and niggas are saying that he told because goddamn Seti Nash, who was definitely consulted by Whack 100, paid $400 for a YouTuber to remove the video. All for YouTube, but everybody knew already that Thug was there to try to get YSL Pee-wee out of jail. And these are facts. And he was in jail for something different. They was talking about how he clapped at Wayne's tour bus. Thug was clearing that up like, nah. We don't got no beef with Wayne. We used to give Wayne bud. He said that because he was trying to clear up the beef because he was saying Wayne and Pee-wee ain't have no issue. Right? And then how Thug said he ain't got no issue with Wayne. All this was being done to get Pee-wee out of jail. But no, we had to have some people paint a narrative because they was tired of being painted as rats by everybody else. So now niggas is like, oh, you're a rat too. You told, said Gunna told on you, but truth is, you also a teller. Like, nah, nigga. That sound good to everybody else who don't know the situation, but it's just not true. It's false information, gang. You did? Salute to Stino in the building who says Ack needs to eat a Frank. I mean, he does that consistently. You heard? He does that consistently. You feel me? But we're going to keep this thing going because this is just nonsense because now y'all trying to make it look like Thug told and he didn't. That's less corny.
We don't want to move the goalposts. We don't want to switch no subjects. We don't want to be like, yo, no. But what about Thug though? So you co-sign with Thug. So as soon as somebody said something like, so you co-sign with Thug then? Okay.
Yes, nigga. He ain't co-signing what Thug did, you know, because he didn't tell. You use your platform to try to destroy Thug career. You know that, right? You had 6ix9ine, you had the whole rap coalition. Y'all worked in conjunction. Trap LaRose, Poetic Flopper, Whack 100, Seti Nash, Akademiks, DJ Vlad, Adam 20. Y'all worked in conjunction. In conjunction, y'all worked to try to make Thug look like a rap. And then Seti Nash had the audacity to try to get Young Thug locked up, saying he violated his probation, trying to say that he proven that Thug was doing a goddamn Galaxy gas on Instagram Live. And it just wasn't ever proven. But he was trying to get Thug locked up. You niggas be trying to get niggas locked up. So who's really ratting here? If it's not y'all. Y'all said, oh, y'all want to call us rats? But look at your mans right here. Look at King Slime, Young Thug, who appears to be, but guess what? There's zero proof of Thug telling with anyone. It just looks good. It looks good. And the reason why everybody switched up on Thug is because his music don't hit the same. Gunna has better music than Thug, even though he's a goddamn rat. Gunna's music is just hitting way better than Thug's. The quality is better. The music is better. So y'all like, oh, word, so his music ain't hitting, so we might as well just jump on this bandwagon saying that Thug is a rat. No proof that Thug told on. Who did Thug tell on? Nobody. Y'all said, oh, well, he got the police number. Well, truth be told, in that room that y'all think that was a police person in there was a girl in there. And the girl is who Thug was talking to, because Thug was flirting with this girl while he was recording. He was flirting with the girl that was in the room. But no. I bet you they never showed the goddamn footage of the goddamn tape. The surveillance footage of the whole situation. You gonna see that Thug was talking to a shorty that was in the goddamn room. But no, we don't want to believe that. We want to believe the nigga told because it looked good when it seems like he told. It looks better, I guess, right? Is what it is, man. Even 1090 Jake's, and he's a goddamn rat his goddamn self. Goddamn Jacob Cherry, aka 1090 Jake, actually showed the proof and talked to the nigga who they paid to take the video down. Facts. But hey, we rather believe the lie over truth, right? Watch in.
That's what we trying to know.
Yeah, look at this goddamn Wilderberry. Yo, look. F Akademiks, or should I say Cap Aesthetics, you heard, or Henademics for that matter. All this nonsense is nonsense, man. That's just the case in point. This nigga's a goofy, all right? I mean, how many times do I gotta say it? You know, these niggas are all rap. All of them are people who get people indicted for a living. I mean, if we being real, let's just say that all the rappers just stop rapping about sliding and all that. What content do you have now? If you niggas don't have nobody talking street stuff, what content do you have, champ? I'm just curious. Where's the content? What content do you have? Trap LaRosse is contentless without niggas doing street stuff because he got to get niggas indicted. That's literally what he does, nigga. So-and-so did this. Young boy, I know about those bodies. Like, nigga, without these things, you don't. So niggas talking about the streets, this, that, and the third. Without the streets, you niggas also don't have content. You niggas also don't go nowhere. You don't go to nobody's hood. You never been to nobody's hood. You're scared, champ. You look over your shoulder if you was in the corner store, champ, making an order, nigga. What are y'all niggas talking about? The streets, nigga. Y'all know y'all ain't got nothing without the streets. You dig? He said Playboy Cardi got bodies now. He don't got bodies, but the people that I'm not even gonna get into that, champ. He don't got bodies, but I will say, I'm not gonna say that, champ. Actually, I know some things, champ, and that's it. You heard? I know some things, champ. I'm gonna just say that, all right? And you leave it there. You know, these niggas wanna get niggas indicted. I'm not trying to do those things, champ. All right, I'm not trying to do those things. All right. I'm gonna just say there was a certain gentleman who was trying to get Cardi and Future indicted in that goddamn homicide gang situation. That's a whole nother topic that I won't be discussing. Okay. And make sure y'all smash up on the like, make sure y'all share the video. We're gonna have more content later, man. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, hit the like, and when the video is over, make sure you hit that hype button because the hype button is important. But smash that like though, all right? We're gonna have more content real soon. Make sure you tap in. But one more thing before we get all the way up out of here. Are you ready, gang? East to Mayor. The one and only Radio Mayor F. Mom Donnie, and you rocking with the 10 favorite Showface news. It's Big Gotham. I'm up out of here, y'all. Salute.